What's going on, guys? KayGee here from the football capital. It's the A-League semi-finals review, and I'm here. Got Borce with me. Borce, we've now got our grand finalists.
Finally, about time, huh? The season has come to an end. Now we got one more game left. And bro, what a semi-final it was. A two-legged semis that brought that back. I remember back in the day when when we used to watch was it Brisbane Roar and the Mariners in that two-legged final semi. Brought back a bit of memories, but hey,
you're a fan of it? Fan of the two-legged semis?
I don't mind the two-legged semis. I remember in the 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Cup or League Cup. Yep. They used to have it. They removed it now, maybe because of COVID. But I don't mind. It gives you a chance. Play at home, play away. I enjoy it. It
doesn't have to be a neutral venue, or it doesn't have to.
That's right. I understand the whole thing of whoever came higher on the table should get the home final. If that was a one-legger, it kind of doesn't make sense. But you know what? This made it interesting. I think the first legs, it was a bit. They tried to play it a little bit safe.
Yep.
In my opinion. Still entertaining, but these second legs, and no away goal doesn't count for anything, you know.
Yeah, we had a bit of a discussion about that when the second legs came around, because we weren't quite sure whether or not FIFA had introduced it for the A-League in this season or not.
I think the A-League got their own rules, to be honest, because even back in the day, I remember the away goal rule never counted as well. I don't think it counted. Maybe people can correct me if I'm wrong, but even like I was saying, the Brisbane Roar and the Mariners game, I think Mariners were up 2-0, and then Brisbane brought it back with 𝗕𝗢𝗨, if we remember right at the end, to take it into penalties, 2-2, and it went to pens.
Yeah.
It was never a two-leg. Or was that the final? Was there a two-legged? No, I might be... No, semi.
The tour was a grand final, I think, because they were leading to...
You're right. But then they played in a...
They went to extra time somehow.
Yeah.
Was it a two-legged final? I can't remember.
I know they played in a double header 2 years in a row, I think.
I think you're right, because that game...
I think that might have been the final, the one I'm talking about.
Maybe.
But regardless, anyway,
but
I like the two-leg final as two-leg semi. As you can see, a lot of entertainment, especially yesterday's game. A little bit today's game as well with the victory. We'll touch on that. It could have gone either way. Yeah, either way, and City playing with a bit of fire, but I think they got over the line and comfortably towards the end.
Yeah, look, if we, before we move on to the games, if you looked at the away goal rule, it would have been an Adelaide and Western final, because Adelaide, didn't concede at home and had 1-1 at full time, so they would have went through.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes.
Right, so it's a bit of an interesting one, whether or not that rule existed or not, but. Either way, we ended up with a Melbourne City versus Western United final.
Yeah.
And looking at the semi-finals, they were quite entertaining. As to your point, yesterday's matchup, which was the second leg of Melbourne Victory versus Western United, took away from a little bit from the first leg. The first leg was a quiet one. It was a 1-0 win to Melbourne Victory. 𝗓𝗲 getting the goal there, and I think one of the stars for Melbourne Victory this season, 𝗓𝗲, and he didn't disappoint. I know that this game went, they took the lead early, Western United. They went up 1-0, which made things a little bit interesting, right? Considering it was Melbourne Victory's home game, the second leg, and they were out there in force
again. Yeah, got to give
credit to them again, as you've said, and. Then Melbourne Victory pull one back through Jake 𝗓𝗲, an amazing free kick.
Yep.
Reminded me of 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 a couple of years ago against the West Sydney Wanderers last minute. And then it all fell apart. How do you assess that type of game, Borce? Because you got two coaches that if I had my pick, I'd take 𝗕𝗨𝗡𝗏 all day, every day. But again, he this time he doesn't even make a grand final. Yeah. He's lost 4 grand finals.
Yeah.
And he failed to make it this time.
Yeah, missed out on the Premier's plate just this season.
Yep. Still a successful season.
Yeah.
From
where they came from Melbourne Victory, from where they came from the Wooden Spooners last year, was it? To missing out on the Premier's plate by 1 point, and then missing out on the grand final. But with 𝗚𝗿𝗍, I mean, if we roll back the first episode of our predictions, I think he got a bit of a hammering that we didn't really rate him as a manager.
I'll put my hand up because I wasn't.
Banana
convinced.
did. Yeah, Banana's on his case as well.
Yep.
But I think he's kind of proven everyone wrong, and I think he tried to prove him to himself as well, or just the people that were criticizing him that my time at Brisbane, all right, didn't go well. Maybe there was different circumstances. We know where Brisbane are at the moment, and as a club as well.
And he had history with Heart as well.
Yeah. And look, he stepped it up, and I think he's proved everyone wrong. Every week we're like, this team, their fan base is still new. They're not a lot of them. They still turned out in numbers, still packed out majority of that away bay. But you got to give credit to 𝗚𝗍𝗍. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's come in, he's got himself into a grand final, and if he wins it, if he pulls off something here, which I think he could even, you know what I mean? It's going to say a lot to what he's done with this new club. There's teams in the league that have never won it before. Still, do you know what I'm saying? And they've been here from day one, and they've got their shot now.
Yeah. Credit to 𝗚𝗍𝗍. I think, like I said, I probably hammered him at the start of the season, but recruits like 𝗕𝗢𝗨, like Wenzel Halls, Jamie Young, who we've spoken about him. And there's a few other youngsters, Lachie Wales.
Yeah.
And then you got some experienced guys. You got your Josh Risdens. You've got your Stephen 𝗚𝗏𝗍 who are still playing. They've reached a grand final without Diamante, right?
Yeah, injured.
Diamante's been injured, but he's been riding the bench, every moment. But just in regards to yesterday's game, because that's where it was decided.
Yeah.
Where do you think Borce things changed for Melbourne Victory, or where did Western United sort of take off and make the difference in the game?
Look, you saw from minute one, in my opinion, Western United, they'll go down. First leg, you're a goal down, you're coming into this, you got to take the chance from the first whistle. If you go 2-0 down or 1-0 down in the game, there's always a chance to pull the goal back. So it was, I think they went about it the right way, and this is why you got to give 𝗚𝗚𝗍 a little bit of credit, because it wasn't, let's see how we go, let's see what they're gonna do. Nah, first minute they went right at him and they got that early goal and they brought it back. Now, which means Melbourne Victory have to come at them now.
Yeah, well, it's a tied game at that point.
That's what I mean. You bring it back to 1-1 on aggregate. Melbourne Victory, they can't sit back. You have to now go for it. Otherwise, like you've seen in today's game, it goes into extra time. You take yourself to penalties, and your chances are a little bit slimmer. But getting that goal 1-0, and then still not giving up, even though 𝗕𝗓𝗨 with a fantastic free kick.
Yep.
Unbelievable free kick. And Melbourne Victory going into the half, 1-2-1 on aggregate, maybe in a little bit of a comfortable position at home with the fans. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, we know that he can get the job done. I don't know what happened in that second half. I mean, Western United didn't take the foot off the gas from the first minute to the 98th minute whenever the last goal was scored.
Yep.
But I just think once they crawled back and once they went 2-1 ahead, 2-1 on aggregate,
yep.
It felt like Melbourne Victory kind of thought that was the score.
Yeah.
They didn't think, they were behind instead of we're behind in the game, but on aggregate we still got a fighting chance.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. You can see when Rojas got taken off, head down, not even like, all right, let me get off. Let whoever, next person come on. Let's see if you can do a job. Heads down. Look, they're still giving it a go. I mean, Davidson didn't stop. I seen him the whole game trying to create something. But how are you gonna have one of your fullbacks trying to create? Where's the rest of the team? I mean, look. Besides that, Western United get the goals. Like we said, the second goal was who put the ball through there? Was Lachie Wales who put that cross in?
Who was on the left hand side? Was it Payne?
Yeah. Oh, that was for the first goal, yeah. For the first goal, yeah. Connor Payne whipped that one in. Second goal, I think it was Lachie Wales, put it into 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏. And look, even for that second goal, I think the defending is going to be better.
Yes, the one, I know which one you're talking about. The second one.
I think it was Lachie Wales,
Perfectly weighted ball, because you got to get it in between the keeper and in between the defensive line. And if you look at the run that 𝗕𝗢𝗨 made, 𝗕𝗢𝗨 and 𝗕𝗢𝗨 were on him the whole time.
Oh, sorry, it was Winston Hawes.
That was the second one.
That was the second. He assisted, but 𝗕𝗢𝗨 still got that. Still got the goal.
Okay.
But the defense, how do you, like you were just saying, in between both of them? And to be honest, it didn't even look like a tussle. He just kind of got in between and just stuck that foot out.
You would have thought maybe at first glance it could have been an own goal, but he hit it.
Yeah,
he actually hit it, and that's what I'm saying. You got to beat 𝗕𝗢𝗨, and you're beating 𝗕𝗢𝗨. It's 2-on-1. He gets his foot to it quite comfortably, gets the goal. You know, they go up,
and that's early in the was that first 4 minutes or 5 minutes in the second half.
They set the pace, like you said. They actually went after him, and then. Look, you get the third one. I'm trying to remember who had the third one.
𝗙𝗍𝗨, and it was the ball dropped in the box. 𝗕𝗢𝗨 played it back and took a deflection, but
create your own luck.
That's right. And I think it was a 𝗕𝗢𝗨 at the end. She said when 𝗙𝗍𝗨, and it was when he slides, she thought he was gonna go under the ute. Yeah. Almost in the background. I'm like, where's this guy going? I thought they were going to jump in the car and go for a bit of a joyride. That would have been.
He went for a bit of a slide.
Yeah.
And then jumped the fans. He went to the fans. And then Western United, obviously Melbourne Victory at that point, now they're behind.
Yeah.
Right, they're behind. They've got to try and get the goal. In all honesty, I thought they were trying to create enough. They were camped.
Yeah.
In that
and
half.
there was so many chances. Like the one right at the end, Young spills it, and I can't remember who.
Both Victory players.
Yeah, D'Agostino, one went into the goal.
D'Agostino went to the goal.
Yeah, and then I can't remember who the other one was. It kind of took a touch of him and then went out. But like that's all it was. Just one mistake, and that was late in the game too. That was like deep into injury time because it was 5 minutes. It went to 8. And ended up scoring at the end as well.
Uncharacteristic from Jamie Young though, because you never ever thought he would drop it. And then when I was watching it live, he's dropped it. I was just going, it's oh my god, he's dropped it.
And it was like slow motion too. It wasn't like a big deflection. The shot was from a distance out.
Yeah.
And look, Melbourne Victory threw everything to be honest, Adam, towards the end. Then it was over 2 minutes of stoppage time there, and then Jamie Young plays it down. Kicks the ball out, play on. Was it 𝗕𝗢𝗨 again that played it through? Or no, Connor Payne?
Yep.
Connor Payne to Winston Hawes, and then celebrations for Western United. Game over if it wasn't over by then. But you just saw the celebrations, 𝗙𝗍𝗨, the fans. Even us in the group chat were like, fuck. What a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what we spoke about on the last pod, man. Like people need to you know, the people that criticize the A-League about the quality and all that. I'm like, people still get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go watch Man United, to go watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're talking about the quality. I mean, to be honest, it has picked up, but we're all here for a day out and it's entertaining. Like the games, like even as a neutral watching that yesterday, I'm like, do I celebrate? Do I jump up? Like everyone's in the group chat, we're like, wow, what the hell did we just witness here? And this is what we were saying, like, throughout the whole year, bums on seats, get out there next season, you know, like enjoy it. Everyone keeps talking about, remember back in the day, well, you can still recreate back in the day just by having a day out, do you know what I'm saying? But
you got it, and you're right, like you're watching these games now and they do have a quality to them.
Yeah.
They're not your English Premier League, but you know what? They're putting on a spectacle.
Look at the goals.
Scoreline.
Yeah, but look at the goals as well, Kev. It's not just like, you know, deflections and all. Like, they're still quality goals. Like, was it last week or two weeks ago? Cummings with that goal that he scored where like, off the left foot. Like how, it's just the way he bent that. The goals in this game.
And a lot of the youngsters too, Borce.
And that's what I'm saying. They're stepping up as well. To be honest, it is entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what people expect with the quality. For the quality that, you know, for the A-League, I think it has improved, to be honest.
It's a stigma. It's just one of those things that people use as an excuse, because I think, you know, especially since we've been doing coverage over the A-League, we've obviously spent a lot more time watching more games, and I think it's just a stigma that, the A-League's, you know, not up to quality. If you start watching it, and just look at all the content creators out there as well, Borch, like who cover the game.
Yeah.
And look at the look at all the stuff that we've just done with the A-League All-Stars against Borce coming up. Everyone's picking their own teams, and you can see there's actually quality players in the A-League.
Yeah,
You pick them out, and you're like, oh, it's so hard to put together 11 because there's so many better players. There's more than 11 really good stars, and that's why they've extended the bench and all that kind of stuff. But credit to Western United. They got their 4th goal. They locked it up. Joy for John 𝗕𝗏.
Yeah,
who I really
he done a bit of a Jose Mourinho towards the end. He started running on the pitch, gave the fist pump,
But look, you have to congratulate him. He's done a great job with a bunch of boys that he's recruited. And I just put the link together with Brisbane Roar, Jamie Young, and and Windsor Halls. I'm like, okay, well there you go. That explains a little bit. But they get the result. They were the first ones to book themselves into the grand final. Unlucky for 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗏 and his side. Yeah. Amazing turnaround for the season. We will be doing wrap-ups of all the clubs and providing content on that throughout the next couple of weeks. So watch out for that. But then there was still another game to be had.
Yep.
And for the best part of a game and a half, Melbourne City couldn't score a goal. So the first leg ended 0-0. There were some amazing saves from the Adelaide keeper. His name is escaping me right now, but they went to the second leg 0-0, which was fresh game now. First game doesn't really mean anything because away goals don't count. And then Adelaide went to Melbourne's home ground and go, you know what, we're gonna go for it. And we said they were the quiet ones. They were the ones that were hiding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around Central Coast and
all season.
And
It's been
victory and
it's
all
been
that.
all season. We every preview or every review that you guys have done, it's like Adelaide got the win last minute, and no one's really saying hey, watch out for them. Robbie was staying quiet. Staying quiet. There's the giant killers, and they've come out and they get the first goal. Right, they get 0-0 in the first leg. So whoever gets the first goal in this game. 0-0 in first half. 0-0 in the first half as well, Kev. 0-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
So they go win 0-0 again, right? Second half they come out, couple minutes in, bang.
Mate,
Zachy
𝗕𝗢𝗨.
He gets the goal.
It was a nice goal.
Yeah.
It was not like
the way maybe he's touching the bounce made it a bit awkward, but he still got a finish of it, and was a 𝗕𝗏.
Sometimes those kind of goals. I mean, look, they're scored all the time, but it almost felt like it was slow motion.
Yeah.
Like you just see that ball sail and you're like,
couldn't do much about that. I mean, 𝗕𝗏, I think he pulled off some good saves in the first half and in the first leg as well. Even the Adelaide keeper pulled some good saves in the first half. So look, they were both solid in defence. I think Melbourne Victory probably had the upper hand majority of the game. City had the upper hand majority of the game, and a few 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗏, few substitutions, and 𝗕𝗢𝗨 comes on, and
you can't write him off, man.
You can't. I was questioning why is he on the bench. You mentioned the front three that City have. Who's he gonna sit out for? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If you look at that front three, 𝗕𝗡, McLaren, and Matthew Leckie. He makes
that's a Socceroos starting.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But look, that's what Melbourne City had all year, competition for places, which means everyone steps up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
the rumor mill will start on 𝗕𝗢𝗨. In the off season, I'm sure.
Just don't G him up as the next thing coming out of Australia, because we know how that turns out.
I think his management team will type him up like that, because
they shouldn't.
He's already they snuck in a little 𝗕𝗢𝗨's cereal. A-League stuff, but he comes on. 𝗕𝗡𝗨 puts in a cross. I think it had a bit of a deflection on it, just slightly rotation of the ball turn, but really poor from the Adelaide defenders not to get rid of that ball. Probably out of the keeper's reach, and then 𝗕𝗢𝗨, it was one of those dinking headers and hits the post and it goes in. No chance for 𝗕𝗢𝗨 in goals. Levels the scores up. You're now at home, and you're going to be urged to go for it, right? And the expectation from Melbourne City would be that they'd go on and take it, but they get to full time, and you know what? the last couple of minutes, it was dead. I think
Yeah,
both teams
yeah.
were just like, hey, let's just make it to extra time and see how
Yeah,
it goes.
let's get to extra time, because if we play any sort of risky balls or passes or do something like that, we only got like a minute or 5 minutes, let's just say, to try come back into it. Whether let's go into extra time, we've got half an hour. If we make a mistake, we'll try hit them early. And if we cop a goal, we got 15 minutes to try rescue it. And that's exactly what Melbourne City did. And they come out 2 minutes in, McLaren getting his goal, and it was.
That's his kind of goal, though.
But for Adelaide United to go out on that goal, the ball comes in, deflection one, little deflection on another one, and then just Jamie McLaren.
Right?
He loves scoring against Adelaide United as well. Every time I think he's played him, I don't know. But
there was something in the commentary today around he's the most.
He must have,
he scored the most goals.
I just remember McLaren always against Adelaide popping up. It was a shit goal to concede, to be honest. And you can see the Adelaide, like the last defender, I can't remember who got a touch onto it, but he's just hitting the ground to know, like, he's like, I
know it came off 𝗕𝗢𝗨 and then went on to the other defender, can't remember who it was, and then it just spilled in front of him. And he's put it in. But you know what? Some strikers miss those. Or they hit it straight at the keeper.
Yeah.
But it falls to Jamie McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren had some chances even in the second half. And, the keeper was on it all the time. That touch knee post, keeper onto it straight away. Like always had Jamie McLaren covered. But this one, for a Melbourne City point of view, you'll say, great striker. He's in the positions. He's always waiting for the spill. Always staying focused and ready for the rebound or whatever it might be. But then if you look at it from an Adelaide United perspective,
you got to do better.
One, you got to do better. Even from that cross, that kind of. A cross or shot? What was it? A cross or a shot that came in? You got to do better there. Then you got to sort your feet up, body positioning on the deflections that come in.
Yeah.
And then can the keeper do something? Maybe not. It's probably a little bit too quick for him. Knee post.
Too close.
Can he do something there? Yeah. Can he a bit of a better reaction? We'll never know. But yeah, it's a disappointing way to lose, especially on that goal.
They still had about 26 minutes.
The second minute early. It was literally the first couple of minutes.
But City just managed that game. They just managed that game. I know the second half sub, Griffiths, when he came on, he changed the game for them because they were struggling to maintain that ball. I think he was the one that changed the game. Obviously, 𝗕𝗢𝗨 as well. He brought that energy. But they just managed the game out after that. I don't like to see it, but the good teams do it well. But City would not give them the ball. I know they had a few chances at Adelaide, but nothing concrete, nothing solid enough to convert. My heart goes out to Robbie, mate. You guys were so close.
Yeah.
And snuck into a grand final. I was actually thinking Western United versus Adelaide grand final.
Yeah.
That would have been an interesting one for the crowd numbers.
Yeah, that's right.
I know Adelaide would have travelled. But you don't know how big the Western United fan base is, so
we're just gonna have half the stadium gonna be neutral. Do you know what I'm saying? So
we were all licking our lips thinking City victory.
Yeah.
What a final atmosphere that would have
been.
Yeah,
we did say it's gonna be a Melbourne derby grand final, so we got that right. But
the other
Melbourne teams, you know what I'm saying?
Came in.
But look, like you were saying with the subs and all that, I mean. Adelaide, for everything at it, used up all 6 subs. Obviously, the 5 in the 90 minutes, and then the one that you're allowed in extra time is 6 subs. And I think only City did the 3. So keep it the same, keep it compact.
𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗡,
he's done well, man. He's done well. He's done well. What's that? Back to back? Could do it back to back minor premiers. Could be.
Yeah, but he's also won the W League with the with the ladies team over there at City. So. He's earned his stripes from a coaching perspective. There was shades of, he had his hands behind his back walking around. I'm like, he looks like 𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 a little bit. He had that mannerism. He stayed calm, made the changes. I know just before they got the equaliser, they were talking about making some changes strategically. Gets the equaliser. He goes, okay, well, let's just put a hold on things.
He made the
game management.
He made the sub. 𝗕𝗢𝗨 comes on and 𝗕𝗢𝗨 got that goal. Do you know? A couple of minutes later, so you got to give him credit. He's done well. Like we spoke about it couple maybe pods ago, like just the whole club, like the philosophy, the way they got from the youth to the women's league to the first team, how they got them running,
and all around the globe.
That's right, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where you look at that City group and you're like, hey, they're doing really well. And well, you know, we congratulated them on the premiership, and now we congratulate them on a grand final appearance.
Yeah.
That sums up the 2 semi-finals. It was really entertaining, especially Saturday night. Even this afternoon was
not too bad.
Quite good.
Not too bad.
I didn't pick the Victory Western United game to be so intense, but it was. It was good to see. But now, Saturday, 28th of May, 7:45 p.m. kickoff, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It will be Melbourne City versus Western United. Do you want a quick prediction? I know we're gonna do a.
You're gonna do a grand final preview for that. Maybe we save it. Maybe we save our thoughts. Maybe we save our thoughts for the preview.
Well, let's see how the week builds up. We're going to be really interested to see, you know, obviously the build up for both teams. Western United going to their first grand final. City looking to go back to back. So it's going to be really interesting. We are going to do the preview midweek, so take a look out and keep an eye out for that particular video. Borce, thanks again for doing another episode.
No problem. Thanks for having me on once again.
We're getting the coverage for the A-League. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Look out for the videos, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take it easy, guys.